what, 14 years? And we've had some great players. I mean, we've had
14 years.
14 years. We've had Brian Dawkins and Deuce Staley and Jeff Garcia. We've had some great players over the years, but it's Troy Vincent, Bobby Taylor. But it's a real honor to be up here with this guy. Give it up for Michael Vick. So, what have you been up to?
Just been taking it easy, you know, getting back acclimated to playing football, you know, being with my family, being in a new atmosphere, a new city, and, you know, basically enjoying myself. Just happy to be back playing football.
Tell me about the night that you signed with the Eagles. We were at the preseason game. What was it?
Saratoga.
You were in Saratoga. We're sitting at a preseason game. It's, you know, some boring preseason game. We're sitting there. All of a sudden, we get this announcement, and we thought it was a joke at first. And it wasn't a joke, and you know, the next day, here you were, and 2 days later, you're out there at practice, and you know, chucking the ball up and down the field. What was that whole thing like when you signed?
You thought it was a joke. I thought it was a joke. I mean, you know, it was great. You know, when I got the call from my agent, he told me that Philadelphia wanted to sign me. And I really had to, you know, sit and think about if it was the best decision for me, if it was the ideal situation. Was the best for my family, was the best for me and my future. And, you know, the thing that kept coming into my mind was the structure that they had in place and having the opportunity to come be around, you know, a great group of guys, a great coaching staff, and a good football team that was solid. So, you know, I took all that into consideration, and I just thought it was the ideal situation. So when I got down here, you know, I stayed at Jeffrey's house, Mr. Lloyd, you know, and you know, he just showed me a good time. You know, we had sat down and had a conversation, and, you know, he was cordial and you know, respectful, but there were some things that he wanted to know. So, you know, I spent the majority of the time wondering, you know, why, but at the same time, I figured out, you know, it was the best decision for me.
You know, there were a lot of rumors, I mean, about where you were going to wind up. Everybody knew you were going to get back in the league. I remember I'd have to write a column picking some teams I thought you might wind up with. The Eagles weren't on that list. Did it come out of nowhere, or had the Eagles been talking to you a while? Because they really kept it quiet.
You know, it just came out of nowhere. I was talking to 2 other teams, and it was getting close. And, you know, I was getting text messages early in the morning from different head coaches, different offensive coordinators, and it all sounded good to me. And, you know, I just wanted to have a chance to get back to playing football. And, you know, just hone my skills, you know, get myself back in playing shape, you know, get back in the locker room with the guys. And, you know, with Philadelphia, it just happened all of a sudden. And, you know, it was just like, you know, abruptly, you know, they put a deal in front of me that, you know, I really couldn't refuse. I thought it was the best situation. I knew that I wasn't going to be playing. And, you know, I think it was the best thing for me at the end of the day.
How do you balance at that point coming to a team which got a very solid quarterback who's been a starter for 10 years, a 5-time Pro Bowl, with going somewhere else where maybe they don't have that structure in place that you talked about, but you might have a chance to play sooner? I mean, was that a tough thing to kind of balance out at that point?
It was tough at the time because I wanted to play. As a competitor, you always feel like you can come in and make a difference anywhere you go in the NFL. And, you know, I just had to look at the track record. All the quarterbacks who came through in the last, 10 years. You know, I know Donovan has been here and the longevity has been there for him. But, you know, Jeff Garcia had an opportunity to play. You know, other quarterbacks had a chance to play. You know, A.J. Philly came in and played, and, you know, he was successful. So, you know, that's a compliment to the system. And I commend the coaches because they do a great job in teaching and helping guys to understand, you know, what running the West Coast system is really about and how to do it. So, coming out of the West Coast system, 3 years ago, you know, I just figured it would be easy, you know, for me to come in and you know, understand what was going on within the framework of the offense, and, you know, be able to, you know, pick it up quickly and not have to, you know, worry about, you know, what this formation is, or, you know, what the concept of this play is, and how to run it. So it made it fairly easy. And, you know, the more I thought about it, the more I talked it over with my fiance, we just realized that it was the best situation for me.
Could you have played right away? If you had gone to a team that really needed a starting quarterback, After not playing for 2 years, do you think you could have come in and played day one?
To be honest, no. You know, I was 222 pounds when I got here. And like I said, as a
If
competitor...
you eat the food here, you'll be back up to about 240.
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm kind of reluctant to do so. I don't know if I'm going to take that cheese.
We're here every Thursday. I'm about 240 at the end of the year.
Maybe down the line I consider it. But, yeah, I mean, you know, you think about all the things that you can do, but you never consider the things that you can't do. And when I played against the New York Jets in preseason, you know, it finally registered that, you know, you're not ready to play. Your legs are still heavy. You're 10 pounds overweight. You know, you're really not understanding the offense. And if I would have went somewhere else where they didn't run the West Coast system, then it wouldn't have been beneficial for me. So,
Where are you now?
Everything happened for a reason.
Now 6 weeks or whatever, you know, whatever weeks, 6 weeks of regular season. But how do you feel you are now in terms of?
6 weeks into the season, I'm about 95%. You know, I still have to work myself into playing shape. I'm still getting there, but at the same time, practicing hard every day, and I'm putting forth my best effort. You know, making every attempt to become the best player that I can be.